Hello and welcome to a special edition of VOA's Red Carpet. I'm Jackson Vunganyi. In this episode, we take a look back at some of the most memorable stories that we covered in 2019. And we start with the unfortunate passing of rapper Nipsey Hussle. He was shot and killed outside his Los Angeles clothing store in March. Fans mourned his passing, including those gathered here in Washington, D.C. for a candlelight vigil. VOA's Salem Solomon has our story.
If any proof was needed of the impact of rapper Nipsey Hussle, it could be found among the people who gathered for a candlelight vigil in Washington, D.C. Many felt a strong kinship with the musician who was born Ermias Asghedom because of his music, his message, and his life story as a son of an Eritrean father and an African-American mother. He was gunned down in Los Angeles on Sunday at the clothing store he opened in South Central Los Angeles neighborhood.
He used his culture, he used his influence towards, bettering people's lives. Not only the people he was around, but the whole city of Los Angeles. And I feel like, when somebody loses their life like that has impact on a global scale, you have to pay your respects and you have to show him love, man. He didn't deserve that, man.
The vigil at the Washington's Malcolm X Park was organized by members of the Eritrean diaspora. Many at the park said they felt particularly close to the rapper because he had embraced his heritage and gave Eritrean Americans a positive role model to admire.
It inspired me a lot of things, you know what I mean? He make me care about my country more, you know what I'm saying? He did help a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? He did a lot of things. People don't expect, this guy come from nothing, you know what I mean? He made it to the top. So, somebody take someone from us, got hurt. But you know what I mean? God is always taking the good one.
Others focused on the fact that he had given so much back to his impoverished inner city community in Los Angeles. He had launched a clothing line, opened a barbershop, fish market, burger restaurant, and a workspace to help revitalize the neighborhood. He had plans to build low-income housing as well.
He didn't use rap as a way to get rich. He tried to show people another way to get rich, tried to show people another way to make money in a legitimate way without having to go, through the illegal means of doing things, and pretty much just trying to bring the hood up from being oppressed like we are. It's difficult for us in every type of way possible, and he's seen that and he's seen another way. So
some pledged to continue his legacy and celebrate the life he lived and those he inspired.
We here for you, baby. That's it. We're here for you. We're going to celebrate. There's some unfinished business that you have for us, but we're going to finish it. Our generation is going to do better. Everything is for you, okay?
For Tawalda Tispa and Abi San, Salem Solomon, VOA News, Washington, D.C.
And then there was the American Film Institute's 15th New African Film Festival with 37 movies from 22 countries, including 8 U.S. premieres. VOA Africa's Azuma Kampori and Ekia Badu took us to an opening night. Let's check it out.
Well, this is the 15th annual New African Film Festival since 2004. We've been trying to bring to the DC metropolitan area and hopefully beyond a little slice of African filmmaking, the culture, society, the issues the broad issues that are in the society. And we hope that by having this festival, we give also people, especially the filmmakers, a chance to expose their latest works.
Opening with The Burial of Kodjo, the award-winning feature is writer and director Samuel Bazawuli's directorial debut. Inspired by his grandmother's story, the movie is a dynamic gaze of magical realism and Afrofuturism set in Ghana.
And as a filmmaker, my stories come from, sitting around by the fireside at night, nocturnal, listening to what my grandmother was telling us. And her stories were always magical. Her stories were always very imaginative. And so making a film like The Burial of Kodjo, it's a great opportunity for me to bring her ideas to life,
For some of the Washingtonians who attended the screening, the movie is exactly what they hoped for.
On a global platform, it's important that this film is shown because, a lot of times we are in the background, or we're the sidekick. We're not the main characters. And he used our customs, our language. He praised us in so many ways through this film.
It's bringing that authentic Ghanaian way of living. So you see it in the movie as, a real Ghanaian. For me, I could relate to it because that is my home. But then also showing it to the world as we live, for me, is good because I feel that is what is missing in our movies.
This year's festival is their largest and biggest edition so far.
This year we have 37 films from 22 countries, and 16 of the films are female directed. So that's a huge move forward. And so we are hoping to continue in this realm. This way, moving forward, we'll having the most representation of all kinds of people.
The festival showcases African filmmaking and offers the chance to see films from all over the African continent that filmgoers wouldn't be able to see on the big screen.
We have so much richness in terms of our storytelling, in terms of our identity, our culture, our colors. These are things that make us who we are. And for me, this was a great opportunity to show the multiple layers of Africanness, of Ghanaianness, and also be specific about how we feel about each other, outside of what the Western gaze may be or the outside gaze may be.
And now for some music news. A familiar African face was here in Washington, D.C. That is Nigerian superstar Burna Boy. The singer performed for a packed house at the Echo Stage where everyone wore white, a tradition of the U.S. Memorial Day holiday weekend. Along with Mr. Easy, Burna Boy was nominated for Best International Act at the BET Awards, and both performed at last year's Coachella's Music Festival. VOA's red carpet was there for Burna Boy's DC concert. Let's check it out. Now, people with disabilities often find it difficult to participate in the arts and to develop skills to make a living. But a program in Washington is helping artists with special needs to get the kind of training they need to develop their skills and to earn an income. VOA's Randy Wikaskwana reports about the non-profit group Art Enables. Check it out.
Every week, Mina Mahmoudi helps her son paint. It's part of Payman Yazini's life after a terrible accident years ago.
Actually, my son, Payman, he was involved in car accident and his traumatic brain injury at 13, which impaired his mobility and speech. So we were looking for a program because his interest was in art, and because he cannot use, or he only can use one hand with the left.
Mina introduced painting to Payman through Art Enables. Established in 2001, Art Enables provides adults with special needs the skills to become professional artists.
So Art Enables provides a comprehensive, supportive vocational environment for individuals to be able to develop as artists and pursue careers in the arts. So there's sort of three parts to our model. The first part is our Studio Arts program, which allows our artists to come into a professional studio space to make, create, experiment, and to really develop their artistic viewpoint and to be able to develop their work. We also have a gallery and exhibitions program where we promote and represent the artist through exhibition and sale opportunities.
Artists over 18 years old who experience a broad range of developmental and cognitive disabilities as well as mental health challenges may join the program. Their work is so impressive. Some of the artwork has sold for hundreds of dollars.
And this one is Payman show his heart. Look at my beautiful heart. And it shows, his beautiful world inside,
Tony says each artist uses their creative time here as a way of communicating their thoughts, feelings, and aspirations.
This piece is by one of our long-term artists, Vanessa Monroe, and Vanessa often will say she travels the world through her artwork. So a lot of her artwork reflects a lot of international imagery and traditions and styles, and it's really profound and beautiful.
This one I like.
And for some, it provides some source of income that may not otherwise be available. A key element of the program, since U.S. government figures show that last year, just 20% of those with special needs had access to employment. Randy Wicaksana, VOA News, Washington.
And we end this special edition of Red Carpet with the Nigerian film The Milkmaid, which tells the stories of two Nigerian sisters whose lives are shattered by the gender-based violence of militant insurgency. VOA's Grace Oyenubi caught up with Executive Director Sewun Sewomumu. Check it out.
The Milkmaid is a story that is topical, given what's happening in sub-Saharan Africa and the decimation of lives that's happening with the insurgency, especially with women and the girl child.
Camera set. Action! The story of The Milkmaid is a story of two sisters who are living their lives as milkmaids in the village. And the younger sister is in the process of getting married, and that wedding happens, but right in the middle of the wedding, they encounter an attack by extremists and get taken away from their village, relocated to the camp of the extremists. There they undergo the process of indoctrination and basically a new way of living which they are not accustomed to.
There's a physical background where we're showcasing the landscape in this part of the country, the beauty of the landscape, and we're also showcasing the cultural landscape, the color and the elegance of the Fulani culture.
Menene kike so?
Na neman yar uwata.
Menene zaki bada? Mu kuma za mu koya miki yanda ya kamata har ki ce da mu kin gode. Na yanke shawarin zan aurar da wannan matan. Ba za ki bi umarni na ba. Daga mi ita daga nan. Idan ta mutu ma, haka Allah ya so. Ki shirya kamar mace ta gari. Ina so an jima da dare.
What we don't usually have are stories behind the people involved in this crisis. What we see are the statistics, or 10 people died, 15 people died, 50 people died. But we get to know nothing about these people as human beings, their lives, their loves, their desires, their hopes. So the film really aims to train a spotlight on the lives of the people caught up in the insurgency situation in the country.
The truth is, the girls are still being taken. So it's not so much bring back our girls, it's stop taking our girls.
Koma yadda muke da.
Ba za mu iya ba. Babu ma wanda zai iya.
And that does it for our show today. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. Thanks to everyone who watched VOA's Red Carpet. We'll be back next week with the latest in celebrity news in fashion, sports, film, and television from around the world. Goodbye, everyone.